Hey guys, Mike here. So, oh boy, what a recovery from last night as I'm looking at it. The futures are going up, and why? More tariff drama, right? Yesterday, the world was coming to an end on tariffs, and today, what happened? They delayed the tariffs for 30 days, but we all knew it, right? I mean, I'll confess, I actually bought a YOLO SPY call on Friday thinking he would announce it over the weekend. I was one day early, right? So he ended up, I'd have bought this morning, I'd been fine. But then, they announced Mexico delayed in the morning time. Then here comes Canada right at close. So now futures are going up right there, which I'll show you the charts. I mean, dollar dropped off a cliff, all that fun stuff. And, you got to remember, folks, I'll show you something showing you exactly why, things are so sensitive. Even one little tweet, one thing about tariffs can drop us 2, 3, 4% just like that within an hour. I'll show you, why that is. And it's normal. But you got to remember, let's just, we keep it real on this channel. And I appreciate all you guys who watched the video last night. I read all your comments, and all that fun stuff. And it was fun reading through those. But understand, there's a reason why I didn't use the word crash in my thumbnail, crash in my title, none of that stuff. Because I think we all knew, let's be real, family, we all knew, right, that this was going to get delayed. Okay, this was a tactic to try to negotiate whatever. And here's the thing, it's politics. Even if they don't give up anything, all the president has to do is say, oh, yeah, we had a good conversation, so I delayed it 30 days. And guess what? We get to start this whole thing over again, okay? Maybe the market gets back on track. That's what we'll see when we open up tomorrow, whatever. But, we'll get to start all over again. Come 30 days, we'll figure out what happens. Mexico put 10,000 troops on the border. Yay. As one of our members said, he's like, really? Like, how many of those guys work for the cartel? I mean, who knows? Because if you ain't noticed, the cartel kind of runs Mexico. So, I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that, but it just seems like they've been running it for years. So, maybe that'll help us down there. But I don't know what Canada did, honestly. As I've started to record this video, I didn't have time to read through it. I just know it got delayed. And so, we'll start over again whenever they want to start the tweets and the back and forths, and the prime ministers and the president of Mexico want to hold their own press conferences and start talking about it and all this fun stuff. He also put out today that thinking about doing 10% on EU as well. So we'll see how that's going to go. But there's a reason why I showed you that 2018 chart, man. It's going to be volatile. It's going to be all over the place. And, we'll get into it. Let me know what you think about that and stuff. But, we all kind of knew, right? I mean, seriously, come on now. And you got to remember, too, this is the first time ever, right, when we're navigating these markets now, that you have a president, for those who don't know this, like his family has a huge crypto business they opened up when he was running for president, right? So they buy, I'm talking hundreds of millions in crypto. And so I can guarantee you when the report comes out of what they bought recently, I'll guarantee they bought Ethereum at 2,100. I will bet money on it because when that thing hit 2,100, off it went, okay? Solano, that thing's up like 24% off the bottom. And so trust me, there's a conflict of interest, whatever you want to call it, okay? There's phone calls being made. And if you ain't noticed, by the way, when these news events come out, look at Friday and Monday. The news hits when we're at the top. It doesn't hit in the middle of the range. It doesn't hit the bottom, when we're setting lows. If it's going to bring the market down, it hits somewhere at the top where we just took out some major levels or whatever it is, or London highs or Friday's highs, whatever. And then when it's going to run it up, when's it hit? When's the Mexico news hit? I literally put it in the Discord. I said, we're about to take London lows on ES. I think that's what the target is. As soon as we took it, it was literally like a minute and a half later, the news hit. And the Qs had hit some kind of major moving average. And boom, away we went. Or somebody told me. So, don't think this stuff isn't time. Remember, they use the news to move the market where they want to move it. And that's the way it works. And we're just along for the ride, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like riding a bucking bronco or something. So anyway, you can see NQ right here, going to the moon, 4 o'clock. Woo, look at that. So it's gone. It's paused right now. It'll open back up at 6. We'll see where that goes. Dollar, boom, fell off a cliff right there. It's kind of funny because the bond market wasn't really buying any of this stuff. Like the 10-year kind of held up green. HYG, which is junk bonds, was red. But again, here's why the market is so super sensitive, guys. You got not one, but both yield curves uninverted at this point in time, okay? So when stuff like this happens, you tend to get some, a lot of volatility in the market. I already showed you this. Again, when President Trump came in here, the Kate ratio, which also is, I believe, the Shiller PE ratio. I don't know why they call it the Kate. At all-time highs. You can see the last 2 times. You know what happened after 2021. You know what happened after 2001. Again, so you're sitting there, you look at the buffed indicator, any indicator you look at, and your 2 standard deviations above the norm right here. And so again, things are highly valued, highly concentrated into 7, 8 stocks as well. And so, one little tweet, yes, we'll send this down quickly. The one thing that's going to be interesting to watch, though, and what's going to happen, because it happened after 2020, is retail is going to get very conditioned to buy every dip on every tweet or statement that comes out that drops the market, right? That's what happened in 2020. And we bought every dip, and then 2022 hit, market crashes, but of course you don't know it's a crash, and of course everybody's buying every dip, and then come March or April, I remember the comments, I remember the tweets, everybody going, I ain't got no money left, because you were conditioned to do it, right? And so this is going to be the same thing where people are seeing this and they're like, wait a minute, I sold last time on the last 2 tweets, or the last 2 statements or whatever it was on this, and they're going to start buying like every dip up, right? And eventually big money ain't going to buy those dips, but of course retail will continue to buy the dips, and there'll be about 1 million dips after that to buy where people don't have money anymore. Okay, so that's one thing you got to be careful about, is not to get conditioned to buying every single time this thing flies down like that, because eventually it flies down and it's for real, and then it keeps going. Of course, you can't predict it, but again, I don't know if you remember that leading up to 2022, but I certainly do. Now, one good thing here is happening is the manufacturing data. I talked about it yesterday, so we're going to watch it. We had ISM manufacturing data come out. It is out of contraction. You can see it right here. It's curling up. Can this continue? That's what we got to see. Again, whether or not we go through a tariff or not, if we go through a tariff, will it hurt it? That's what we got to find out. Okay, we just don't know until we know, right? And now when we look at the SPY here, we're on extended trading hours, and you can see where it went on extended trading hours. I had this marked out for you, where the discount was going to be, and that's why we draw the fibs like we do. From a swing low to a swing high, what happened? In extended trading hours, we came down, and even in regular trading hours, you see, we got that discount, right? 0.5 or lower is your discount range. Shockingly got the bounce. Cannot believe it. Oh my goodness, right? We'll go back to extended trading hours. And so again, get the bounce at 4 a.m., start to come up. Even before the market's open, we already had a nice recovery. Then we get the news about Mexico tariffs. Boom. End up going through here, moving up there, as you can see. When we go back to regular trading hours, you can see we did not fill that gap completely like you see in extended trading hours. So again, tomorrow we'll probably get above this blue line if we open up green. Next level look for is going to be 602.72. Probably slow up unless we get some kind of parabolic jump going on, because we got that 4-hour fair value gap barrier. Normally what happens when you react into a fair value gap, trying to mitigate it right there to the downside. Again, 592.61. Pretty much what I'd look to hold right there. If not, then it's going back down the gap below, and it would probably take news of some kind, to come out to actually drive us down like that or something overnight. Because right now, I see the futures definitely opening up green. And I will say one thing too tomorrow to watch out for on SPX 6038. This might change, but that right there is right now we're in negative gamma. Usually, when you flip this line and go into positive gamma, you can see a major move heading up. And so watch 6038 on SPX. If that breaks, normally you get a really nice push up if that happens, which looks to be the case at this point in time. Now I'm looking over here, IWM. Obviously we talked about these discounts, came down. This is regular trading hours right here. We'll go to extended trading hours, see how far down we went. We're right into the golden pocket, down to the penny, and bounced right here. I'm actually going to take this whole box away right there. Got a huge bounce in this thing, and so got a discount again. That's why we draw these fibs out, because the markets love the bounce and discounts. So that's where we got the bounce from. Now, of course, what happens out of IWM? It's got to build out this market structure. The 10-year has to either start going sideways or back down for now. You can see you still got a gap right there on regular trading hours. So if we pop up tomorrow, I will start just setting that trend line as your resistance at 226.98, somewhere in there, to try to get to, and then fill that gap. If we try to go the downside, again, your golden pocket and your 0.79 fib, anywhere from 218, 220, somewhere in there, is going to be what you're looking at the bottom. Again, if you look at this, what were we doing? We were building out structure, right? We're trying to build out higher lows, higher highs, and then we come into this, basically it's like a triple top almost, right? And so 230.14 is going to be an area. If we break it, I think you're going to have an explosive move higher. But the question is, can we finally get through this? Okay, that's going to be the key question. And again, first off, obviously we got to break 226.98 or 227 first. But once we break that, I think, we're definitely heading 230 pretty quickly. And then from there, you'll probably see a rejection and then a breakthrough, because then it'll be the 4th time hitting it, and it's like a door. You keep hitting and hitting and hitting, and eventually it actually gets easier to break through once you kick the door a few times. Not that I've ever busted in a door. I actually never have. But my brother's a cop, so he tells me once you kick it more than once, it usually gets a little easier to bust it in. So anyway, if you look over here at Palantir, again, it's in its own stratosphere. Once we broke through this trend line right here, you see it with support resistance, boom, it's mooning. Anywhere, I read a different article. At the beginning of the week, this thing had a 14% projected move. Then I said that's about 10.5 today. Either way, currently it's through that. Again, we've seen these big moves before, and then we'll have to see what we're going to end up tomorrow, if they want to screw the options market or not. Like I said, this one's in its own stratosphere. The PE is through the roof. I mean, it's operating on its own metrics at this point in time. And so, congratulations to people in it. God bless you. Happy for you. People trying to short it. Well, I mean, try to warn you, this is one of those ones. And again, most people will try to short this at 100. Hopefully they're successful for them. I'm not rooting either way for this thing. If it does come down, it's respected this fib so far. So again, look for 95, then 92. Probably get a bounce. If you can look at the numbers, again, double beat, and then Q1 projection right here, revenue between 850, 862 million, adjusted income 350, 358. And you can see the numbers down below, what they project right there. The biggest thing is probably the commercial revenue growth at 54%. And I remember this years ago, 3 years ago or something, I used to cover this. And they are hardly any commercial revenue. It's all government. And so they've really been focusing on that. So that's a big thing. And the CEO put out a statement to shareholders and stuff saying they're kind of just in this new regime now, or in this new moment to where they're seeing growth on both government and commercial right now. So congratulations to you guys. Tuesday, tomorrow, you're going to have PayPal, Spotify, Pfizer, PepsiCo, and then some big ones in after hours. AMD, Google, Snap, Chipotle, Enphase, Amgen. Are going to be some big ones. And then when you got data coming out tomorrow, we're going to end up with JOLTS job openings, factory orders month over month. And so the JOLTS job opening usually create some volatility, and they usually never matches up with the next day's job number. So it's always fun. So just buckle up for more volatility. There's no doubt about that. So we'll see if we get to recover and go back green or not, knowing these tariffs are delayed now. And so anyway, hope you got something out of it. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you did. Think about signing up for the membership. Less than a McDonald's combo. And that's everything you get with it. And I'll see you guys for another fun one. Have a good one.